Hi, video number 2. I'm not going to talk too much. I'm going to get to the point. I'm here at my friend Christy's studio, Hidden Lotus, Panama City. Well, Panama City Beach, I guess. It's a cute little space. I teach here Wednesdays at 9 a.m. So I'm going to record a little video now that my class is over. So find a comfortable seat, whatever that might be for you. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I like to use a blanket. I have really tight hips, so I like to kind of elevate my hips a little. So you can use any blanket, towel, whatever. Just kind of get those hips a little bit above the heels. Find your comfortable seat, close your eyes, and begin to breathe. Again, you want to start that Yogi Ujjayi breathing, which is inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. The crown of the head is reaching toward the sky, spine is long, and those shoulders are down the back together. Shoulders away from those ears. Just breathing. Centering your attention on every inhale and every exhale. Noticing at first the length of your breath, the quality of your breath, and then the sensations of your breath moving in and out of your body. Not trying to force your breath or change it in any way. And I want you to become aware of the time sitting here in this quiet state, and also throughout your practice when your mind begins to wander. And often we run our lives this way. We kind of go through every day on an automatic pilot. So when you catch your mind thinking of the past or future as we go through the practice, just bring it back to that breath. Our head is always so filled and so busy with worries or plans, but yoga is just here to calm that inner chatter so we can hear our true voice. That voice inside that never gets a chance to speak over the ego. Just a few more deep breaths. And on your next exhale, we're going to drop our chin down in the center of our chest. You're keeping those shoulders away from the ears. You have a nice space here, and you're feeling length in the back of your neck. Inhale, you're going to roll your chin along your chest, bringing that right ear towards the right shoulder. You'll feel that nice stretch in the left side of the neck. Exhale, you move down through center. Inhale, left ear toward left shoulder. Again, we're just stretching out that right side of the neck here. And then I want you to just go back and forth a few times, exhaling as you move down. Inhale as you bring ear towards shoulder. Just back and forth a few times, getting out any kinks, any cracks, any tension. And if you find a space that feels really tight, you can just hang out there for a breath or two. Where your mind goes, your breath will flow. So just concentrate on those tight spaces. And dropping your chin back down, the center of your chest. Inhale, the head is gonna rise, and we're gonna bring those fingertips on top of our shoulders. We're gonna do a few shoulder rotations. We're gonna bring those elbows together in the front. Inhale, rise the arms up. Bring those shoulder blades back and down. So just a few times in this direction. Exhale as you move down. Inhale as you rise. Last time. And then reverse, going back, up, forward, and down. However fast, however slow, doesn't matter, just following your own breath. Again, if you find a spot where you're really tight, maybe you just hang out there a moment. Focus your inhale going to that tight space, just trying to relax it a little bit. Bringing those hands back down to your knees. We're going to inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, we're easy forward folding here. So I think you can see me very well. We've done this before, just an easy seated forward fold. You might only be right here, and that's fine. As you get flexibility in all parts of the body, eventually forehead will reach the ground. But for now, wherever you are is good enough. We're just going to move this forward fold. So on an exhale, we're going to start walking our hands over to the right side. So you're trying to stay low in that body. And it's like you're pushing your hips over to one way as you get that side stretch here in the left side body. And come back to center on an inhale. Exhaling to that left side. You can probably hear Christy's husband. He's working on the CrossFit gym, which is going to be right through a door here. He was like, I'm sorry, I'm going to be making noise, but I knew you wouldn't mind that much. So same thing, we're pushing those hips over to the right. We're getting a nice stretch in the right side body here. And coming back to center on an inhale, take your exhale here. Inhale, rising back up to our seat. And we're going to do that same stretch, but we're going to take the opposite cross. So usually when we cross our legs, we sit a habitual way. So just bring the opposite leg in front. It might feel really weird. You might feel tightness in maybe one hip compared to the other. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, we're folding. Again, you just walk those fingertips out as far as feels comfortable for you. Exhale, we're going to walk over to the right side, staying low. Stretching out left side body. Inhale back to center, exhale to the left. Back to center on an exhale. Inhale, walk your hands back towards your body, bringing yourself back up. Very gentle twist here, going to the right first, left hand finding your right thigh, right hand behind you, and you're looking back toward right shoulder. Keep that spine long, very gentle twist. forward. Exhale to the opposite side. Again, you're looking back toward left shoulder and that spine is long. And inhale brings you forward. We're going to take a few side stretches here. So we're going to bring our right hand just outside of that right hip. Palm comes down. Inhale that left arm up and over. So you can stay up on the palm. I don't know if you can see me here. Some people like to come down on that elbow. Whatever feels best for your body here. So palms, side stretch, maybe come down onto that forearm and gazes wherever feels comfortable, down to the front or up toward that arm. Inhale brings you up, exhale down. Just stretching our side body, inhale up, exhaling to the right. Last time, inhaling up, exhale. Stretching, reaching from those fingertips, really getting that nice stretch in our side body. Inhale, coming up. Making your way onto hands and knees here. There, computer's only sleeping. So finding hands and knees. We're going to go through our cat-cow here. So you want to find that neutral table. Those wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, drop belly down, gazes up. Exhale, you tap chin toward chest and arch that back. So I want you to flow through a few times with your own breath. Feel free to maybe make some circles here. Or any movement that might feel nice. Just kind of move your spine around. Again, if you find a spot where you're like, ooh, that's tight, just kind of hang out there. Take a deep breath. Settling back into that neutral table. I know in our last video we did pointer dogs, which was the little crunching. So we're going to do a similar thing, and I'm going to show you an easy one. And maybe the first few times you practice this video, you stick with the easy. But then as your strength improves, maybe you want to start trying the harder variation. So the first thing we're going to do, and I'll do it on the left side so you can see the first example. We're going to inhale, extend that left leg out. Exhale, we're crunching that knee in toward the nose. Belly button tight in toward that spine. Now if you're doing this and it's good enough for you, stick with it. If you want to make it a little harder though, we're going to exhale, crunch in. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, very gentle push up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So you have two options. Stay with this. Or maybe add that little push up, elbows very close to the body. Two more, whatever you choose. And then releasing that knee down, hips back to heels. Find your child's pose. Just give give yourself a little breather, just a little break. Just allow the head to rest wherever is comfortable. Just taking a few cleansing breaths if that would feel nice. Once you start building heat in the body from that Ujjayi breathing, it's nice to kind of take a nice breath out of the mouth, forcing out all of that stale air. Exhale, coming back up. We're going to find our table again. We're going to do the same exercise with the right leg. So inhale, you kick that right leg back, and maybe just stick with the tabletop crunches here. Again, that belly button is going in toward the spine. We're keeping our belly tight. So staying with this, or making it more of a challenge by adding in that push-up. Inhale, exhale down, inhale up, exhale crunch. So every movement, we're doing it on either an inhale or an exhale. And you can go fast, you can go slow. It's up to you. As long as you're following your breath. So like I said, maybe you do a few like this the first couple of times. And you'll notice as you find your strength improving in that upper body, maybe you'll want to throw in a push-up or two. Two more whenever you choose. And then bring that knee down, hips back to heels. I want you to find a child's pose. I'll do everything from the side so you can see me a little better. So here we are in our child's pose. And I might have said it in the other video, you can take it wide-legged or legs together, whatever feels comfortable. So the first little flow that we're going to do is from our child's pose just to standing knee. So I can do this one from the front. We're in our child's pose here. Inhale, you're going to rise up onto the knees, extend the arms high. Feel free to maybe take a tiny little back bend here. Exhale, lower down, child's pose. Inhaling up, coming onto knees, maybe a slight back bend, gazing toward the sky. Exhale. Gazes up, maybe a slight back bend. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale. We've done this before in the last video. We're now going to do our child's pose, cobra flow. Inhale, we're going to round up through table. Exhale, we're bending our elbows, we're lowering down, we're bringing those hands directly under shoulders, feet are flat. Inhale, shoulder blades come together, elbows tight to body, lift to cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise up to cobra, gaze is over right shoulder. Exhale. Again, we're going to inhale, rise up, gaze over your left shoulder now. Exhale, release. Inhale, we're pushing up through table back to our child's pose. Inhale, we're going to round up through table. exhale, we're going to lower down to our bellies. Instead of cobra, we're now going to take our Sphinx pose. So with Sphinx pose, those elbows are going to be directly under your shoulders. If that's too tight or if you feel a pinch in the low back, just bring your elbows out further away, not closer in. So the further away the elbows are from underneath the shoulders, the less of a back bend. So the palms are going to be flat, and it's as if you're energetically pushing down into the ground, but pulling that ground towards you, and you'll notice how when I do it, my back instantly starts to bend a little more. So my chest is open, shoulders are away from those ears. This is our Sphinx pose. Take a few deep breaths here. If at all you feel any pinch or tightness in the low back, just bring those elbows out further. Brings less of a back bend. And if you practice this a bunch and you start to get really good and you're here and you don't notice much of a stretch in the back, you can always take it deeper by bending those heels back towards your glutes. Last breath. Exhale, we're going to lower the feet down. Hands are going to come back under the shoulders. Inhale, up and back. We're going to find our child's pose. Inhale, we're rounding up through table. We're going to tuck our toes under and we're going to find our first downward facing dog. Alright, so downward dog here. Any movement you want, welcome. Maybe a little pedal out of the feet, you bend one knee as you straighten the other leg. You're really pushing into all 10 fingers. You're pushing those hips up and back. Those heels reaching down toward the mat. To make sure that our alignment is good, we're going to inhale, ripple forward. We're going to find our plank. Shoulders right above our wrists, body in a straight line, heels are pushing back. Exhale, we push those hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, ripple forward, finding that plank. Belly tight toward that spine. We're strengthening our abs, strengthening our low back. Exhale, we push those hips up and back. We're finding our down dog. From here, we're going to come into a low lunge. So first, you might want to inhale, rise that right leg up. Wherever it is for you is fine. Exhale, we're going to bring it in between the hands. So it might take you one step, 2, 3, doesn't matter. Bringing it up between the hands. Hopefully you can tell what I'm doing by the sideways. I kind of figure this is the best angle. So we're going to drop our left knee down. So as you can see, I've got a nice little kind of space in here. Inhale. First, I want you to just bring your hands to your thighs. And you're just going to kind of push your hips forward. You're going to feel a nice stretch in that left hip, maybe in that hip flexor. And energetically, we're trying to bring that left hip forward as we bring that right hip back. So we're kind of trying to square our hips off. If this is enough, stay here. You can keep those toes tucked under for balance, or you can flatten the foot, whatever feels best. Keep the hands here, or inhale, rise and high to the sky. Next exhale, you're going to plant your hands down. You're going to curl the toes under if you had the foot flat. Lift the knee and you're just going to step the left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, you're going to find a flat back position. So a lot of people, it's directly under the knees. You're pushing that tailbone back. You're trying to get a nice flat back here. Exhale, we're going to fold forward. So you want to bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands on the ground. Now, if your legs are straight and your hands are down, that's fine. We're trying to get our chest toward our thighs. Nice forward fold. Really stretching out the backs of the legs. Inhale with a slight bend in the knee. We're just going to slowly start to round up to stand. Your head's going to come up very last. Finding our mountain pose. So with mountain pose, you want to have those feet. Usually, it depends on the form of yoga. Some people are all about feet together. Some people like hip distance. So it's pretty much your preference. I know you can't really see that well, but my shoulders are together on the back. This is our mountain pose. We're going to come into our chair. So with chair, it's the same thing. Some people like to have their feet together because you really want to squeeze the inner knees together, but some people like chair hip distance. So maybe you try both. So I'm going to go from the side so you can see me. So feet hip distance or feet together. We're going to inhale, swing the arms up. I'm going to go really back so you can see all of me. Swing the arms up. Sit the booty back, and we're going to find our chair pose. So lots of rules with chair. First thing, you want to look down and make sure you see your toes. Sometimes the knees will try to go forward. You want to keep them back. You also want all of your weight in your heels. You should be able to wiggle your toes. If this is too tight on the shoulders, you can keep your hands at heart center, straight out from the shoulders, or eventually biceps up by the ears. Strengthening those quads here. You want to make sure that your tailbone is tucked down towards your mat. I don't know if you can see, but sometimes the butt tends to pop out when you sit in chair, but you want to keep that tailbone tucked. Exhale, we're going to dive in, straighten the legs, find our forward fold. Just hanging out here for a moment. Maybe you take opposite elbow. Just kind of swing here. Just allowing your legs to take a rest. A little swing back and forth. Releasing the hands. Inhale, you're going to find your flat back. Exhale, we're planting the hands. This time we're going to step the right back. We're going to take that left low lunge. So we're going to drop down our right knee. Again, toes tucked under or feet flat. Inhale, you're going to rise up. Energetically trying to square off the hips. Right hip coming forward, left going back. Getting a nice stretch here. Keeping the hands here, or you can inhale, rise the arms up toward the sky. Last breath. Exhale, we're going to plant the hands. We're going to untuck the toes if that foot was flat. We're going to bring that left foot back to meet the right, finding our down dog. Again, we're going to bring that right foot forward, so if you feel it easier to inhale, rise, exhale, swing it, or just step a few times till it comes in between our hands. So if that low lunge was enough for you, drop that knee. If you want to challenge yourself, or as you progress more through the videos, maybe you want to take that high lunge, so you're on the toes of the back foot, rise up. Hands can stay here for balance, or you can inhale and extend the arms. This is our crescent lunge. Same kind of feeling, you're getting that stretch in the hip here. I know you can't see really what my hand is doing, but exhale, we're going to plant the hands and we're going to bring the left foot up to meet the right. Inhale and flat back. Exhale and fold. Inhale, slowly round up to stand again. Your head's coming up very last. We're going to come into a little chair twist here. So again, if you like those feet together, you want to make sure you're squeezing the ankles and the knees in toward one another. Or you can keep those feet hip distance, whatever feels best for your body. Inhale, those arms rise up. Exhale, we'll sit back in our chair. Again, weights in the heels, knees are not covering those toes. If that's too tight, hands here, whatever feels best. We're going to bring those arms straight out from our shoulders. We're going to do a little twist in our chair. We're just going to peel that right hand back. So if this is too tight for your back, drop the right hand here. Just gaze back toward right shoulder. Or maybe this might feel good. Inhale, we're coming forward. Exhale and fold. Inhale, you find your flat back. Exhale and fold. Inhale, slowly rounding up to stand, head coming up last. Finding that chair again, we're going to inhale the arms up, we're going to sit our booties back. We're going to bring the arms straight out from the shoulders and then peel that left hand back. So maybe this is good. Just gaze back toward the shoulder, you're still getting a twist. It's not as intense, but if it feels nice, extend that left arm. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, we're going to fold. Again, I want you to grab opposite elbow and just kind of hang here. Just hang heavy. Maybe a little swing back and forth. Inhale, we're rounding up to stand, head coming up last. We're going to take our pencil pose as a nice little balance. So coming off the mat, if you feel like you can balance better on the bare floor or maybe coming close to a wall. So I'm going to step back a little so you can see me. We're going to plant our left foot, spread out those toes, get a nice wide base. And we're going to start to bring that heel back toward our glute. So maybe you can't reach and maybe this is enough of a stretch, or maybe that hand can find the foot. You can grab outside or inside, whatever feels best. And you're going to bring that heel toward the glute. So as you can see in the front, we're also going to try to bring the knees together. We don't want a nice space. We want to keep them together, and you're going to feel that stretch from the top of the knee up through the hip. So if you have a wall, and you're holding the wall, that's fine. Or maybe, and I know you can't see, I'll come down so you can see what I'm doing with my arm. Your arm is going to be straight up by your ear. This is our pencil pose. Holding it for however many breaths you want. Maybe at the start it's just one. As you progress, maybe 2, 3, 4 breaths. Challenging your balance. Gaze is on something that isn't Release the hand and the foot down, a little shake out of the hips. Sometimes I kind of like to curl my toes under. And then plant that left or that right foot now. I think, whatever side you didn't just do. Start to bend, left knee, heel comes in toward that glute. Again, those knees are going to come together. Maybe you want to hold a foot with both hands. Maybe you have a hand on the wall. Or maybe you inhale and extend that arm bicep up by the ear, finding your full pencil pose. Again, you're staring at something that isn't moving, even if it's just down on the ground in front of you. Focusing on your breath, challenging your balance. Exhale, release, hand and foot down, a little shake of the hips. And we're going to go through a sun salutation here. So these are also known as vinyasa flows. At the top of your mat, you're going to find that mountain pose. Feet are hip distance or together, whatever is most comfortable. I'll go back a little so you can see. We're going to inhale, we're going to reach the arms out and up. Exhale, we're diving into a forward fold. Your head's going to fall last. Inhale, finds that flat back. Exhale, we're going to fold, plant those hands, step back one leg at a time. Or actually, no, oh my God, my bad. We're going to step back right leg first because we have to do that high lunge. We didn't do it on the other side. So the right foot is back, that left foot is in line with your hands, and if the high lunge is too much, feel free to drop that knee or stay on those toes. Inhale. Find that crescent lunge. So we're squaring off those hips energetically. That right hip's trying to come forward. Hands can stay here. And we're pushing that heel back. Feeling that stretch here. Exhale, we're going to plant the hands and then we're going to let the left foot go back. We're going to find our plank. Drop the knees. Exhale, slowly lower down to the belly, flatten the feet. Inhale, rise up, find your cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck those toes under, pushing up to your knees at first, and then back up to that down dog. So from your down dog, I'm going to walk you into pigeon pose. And this one's pretty intense, but I thought you might like it, and I'll show you some modifications. So we're going to inhale, bring that right leg up. Exhale, you're going to bring it forward. So a way to teach pigeon, and I'm going to have a blanket on hand, and you might need one as well. So when you come into pigeon, you kind of have your leg completely bent, heel in towards the hip. Now as your flexibility improves, that leg will start to come parallel to the front of the mat, but it's pretty intense, so we'll avoid that for now. I'll do it from the side so you can see. So that heel is in toward my hip, and my back leg is straight. So you might be up here and have a really big space. That's what the blanket is for. You just fold it. You kind of rest it under the hip because you want your hips to remain square here. So this is our pigeon, but we're going to take it down. So you just slowly start to lower down. And maybe this is it for you when this is intense enough, because pigeon is pretty tough on the hips. So maybe this is your pigeon. Just a gaze down, some deep breaths. can take it further, or as you progress, maybe you come down onto the forearms. Some people like to actually stack fists and rest their forehead down. And some people like to even bring their forehead down to the mat. So just find what works for you, and we're just going to take a few deep breaths here. Again, energetically, we're trying to square the hips. Left hip coming forward, right back. This is pigeon. Ekapada Rajakapatanasana, something really long and crazy. We're going to slowly start to walk our hands back up toward our hips. I want you to remove any blankets or anything if you have them. We're going to roll on to the right hip, and we're going to swing this left leg around. So I want you to straighten out our right leg. We're grounding down. Do it from the front so you can see from the front on. The left foot can be planted wherever is most comfortable. Down close by the shin, or up by that thigh. First, we're just going to hug with the right leg. We're going to hug with the right arm, hug that left leg. Bring it in, and you're just slowly looking back toward left shoulder. Just a very gentle twist. Inhale, come forward. Take your left hand, use it against the left leg. Right hand comes behind you, counter twisting. Inhale, come forward. We're going to come into our half cow face pose. So we're going to try to stack our knees. So I like to use my hand to bring my foot onto the knife edge. So you come onto the side of the foot, maybe wiggle around a little to get your knees stacked one on top of the other. It's going to be a little intense here, and maybe the IT band up through the hip. So you're just going to hold here, lengthen your spine, puff your chest. Exhale, maybe you start to fold over the legs. So maybe it's just palms flat and you're gazing down. Maybe you come down closer and closer. Maybe you hold shin, ankle, foot. And we're just breathing here. A few deep breaths. Where your mind goes, your breath flows. So concentrate on the tightest spaces. Inhale, we're rising up. We're going to unwrap those legs, just kind of windshield wiper back and forth. And we're going to come into pigeon on our other side. So rather than come into it from down dog, I'm going to show you how to just get into it from the mat. Again, we're just bringing this left heel in toward the pelvic floor. We're going to send our right leg back. This is the right side. Yeah. So now you can see me front on. I feel like, did I already do this side? No, definitely not. I'm so sorry. I don't know my right from my left. So you'll see it a little better here from this side. That heel is in here toward my hip. Again, you're going to use that blanket. If you have a big space here, you want to stick a blanket or a pillow or some kind of support to get that hip lifted. Because we want those hips to be squaring off. This might be intense enough, so staying here. as the flexibility improves, that leg will start to move out and eventually become parallel with the mat. Maybe never, and that's fine. Exhale. You're going to start to kind of lower. So again, whether your palms are down and you're just gazing, whether you're down on those forearms, fists stacked, forehead resting, or forehead resting on the ground. You have all these options, and as the flexibility starts to improve in the glute, the hips, that quad on the back leg, you get further and further down. Not minding the noise in the background, and my playlist is over. We're almost done. Inhale, walking hands back towards your body. Bring yourself up. I want you to remove any props if you have any. And we're going to come down onto that left hip. Swinging that right leg up and around, but we're going to straighten out left leg. We're going to do that same twisting here. So that foot is planted. Left hand is going to hug. We're going to hug that right leg in. Right hand comes behind and we're just looking back toward the right shoulder. Spine is long here. Inhale, brings you forward, counter twist using the right arm to push into that leg, just a very gentle twist. Inhale, coming forward, finding our half cow face here. Again, we're going to use the hand to come onto the side of the foot, and we're stacking those knees as best we can. It might be up here if you're tight in the hips, and that's fine. As flexibility improves, it'll get better. Inhale, puff that chest, lengthen our spine. Exhale, begin to fold here. So this might be your fold. Maybe you can grab shin, foot, head is hanging heavy. Breathing here, keeping those toes flexed back toward the face. Inhale, we're rising up. We're going to unwrap those legs. Just a little windshield wiper back and forth a few times. So much easier when I can tell what I'm actually doing, but my computer is constantly sleeping. Making our way onto our back. Inhale the arms up overhead, a nice full body stretch. Exhale, bring those knees into the chest, give them a nice squeeze. Maybe a gentle rock side to side, just kind of massaging your low back. Planting the feet down, arms by our side. We're going to end with the bridge. Inhale, we're going to push our hips up toward the sky, coming onto those shoulders. A gentle squeeze of the glutes supports that low back. Maybe you can bring the shoulder blades together and clasp the hands under the body. If not, it's fine. Just trying to get that feeling for bringing shoulder blades together on the back. I don't know if we did this in the other video, but always an option to walk one foot in a little closer. Maybe you lift one leg up. Maybe not. Exhale, release slowly down to the mat. Bring those knees into the chest. Hands out by our side. Exhale, drop the knees down to one side. Gaze is up. Gaze is back toward the right arm, whatever feels comfortable. Inhale, rise the legs up. exhaling them to the opposite side. Just a gentle spinal twist, shoulders staying on the mat, gazes up or toward that opposite arm to increase the twist. Inhale, knees up. And bring those arms back by your side. Extend the legs toward the sky and just slowly lower them down to the mat. Finding your corpse pose. Shoulder blades together, palms up toward the sky. Feet splay out to the side. Close the eyes. And I want you to focus again on that breath. I'm not sure how annoying that noise is in the background. You might not even hear it. But we're trying to remain present. We're calming our body. We're relaxing our body down to where we reap the benefits of the practice. Few deep breaths. Not letting past or future come into the mind. Again, you're just centering your attention on every in and out breath, noticing length, sensations, quality of the breath. And maybe just for today, when you leave your mat, you start to notice how often you begin to run on automatic pilot, cooking dinner or doing any kind of chore at all without giving it any thought or attention. You don't even know how you got there half the time. Even scarier when it happens when you're driving a vehicle. Just like, how did I get here? You just kind of run on this automatic pilot and we're never present in our lives. So maybe for today, you begin to monitor the times you run on that automatic pilot. And you notice that you're not even realizing what is going on around you. So just begin to develop that observing mind that just notices your automatic patterns and clicks back and brings you back into that present moment. Breathing deep. Staying here in this corpse pose as long as you need. Clearing that mind. This is what the poses were created for, was this moment of stillness.